Welcome to the November 13th, 2025 meeting of the Elkhart City Board of Zoning Appeals. The video comments will only be taken on WebEx. You cannot comment on Facebook. You can watch only. If you are on video, please mute your mic when not speaking. Speak up and identify yourself before you begin to speak. The purpose of this meeting is to review and consider all requests for relief from any standard in the zoning ordinance, including variances, use variances, special exceptions, conditional use requests, and administrative appeals. All of the cases heard tonight will have a positive, negative, or no decision made by the board. If no decision is made, the petition will be set for another hearing. If a decision is made that you disagree with, either as the petitioner or an interested party, you must file an appeal of the board's decision no later than 30 days after the decision is made in an appropriate court. If you think you may potentially want to appeal a decision of this board, you must give this board a written appearance before the hearing. If you are here in person, a sign-in sheet is provided which will act as an appearance. You should sign the sheet if you want to speak, but also if you do not wish to speak but might want to appeal our decision. If you are appearing by WebEx or Facebook, please put your name and address in the comments section. A written petition that is set for hearing tonight satisfies that requirement for the petitioner. If you file your appeal later than 30 days after the decision of this board or give no written appearance tonight, you may not appeal the board's decision. Because the rules on appeal are statutory and specific on what you can do, the board highly suggests you seek legal advice. If you are the petitioner, in addition to filing an appeal, you may first file a motion for rehearing within 14 days of the board's decision. When speaking, petitioner, public, and board members, make sure to hold the microphone close to your mouth when you speak. Tonight, we have our minimum quorum of 3 members present, including proxy members. While we can conduct business with 3 members, any votes taken must be unanimous. Anything less than a unanimous vote will be considered no action, and the case will be reset for the next month. Our proxies will allow us to take action on most items. With respect to the public comment portion of the meeting, public comments will be taken only on the specific petition being heard before the board. Unlike the City Council meeting, where there is time for anyone to comment on any issue, we do not have that at the BZA, and comments will only be taken for or against the petition before the board. At this time, I would like to take a roll call to approve, a roll call.
Mulvaney,
Here.
Lawson,
Here.
Lightman, Ivan Jarekov.
Here. Okay. Approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, so
Mrs. Van Jibberkoff, I need to interrupt just 1 second. We need to amend the agenda this evening. Case number 25 UV12 will not be heard this evening. That will be moved to the December 11th meeting.
thank you.
I apologize.
Very good. All right.
We'll have,
I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We will not be approving the minutes tonight for the last meeting. We will be pushing that off till next month due to there were only 2 of us who were at that last meeting. Approval of proofs of publication.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. All right, let's start off with old business. 25 BZA 20. This is the revised version of this. I'd like to call the staff to report.
Thank you very much. This is a revised staff recommendation and a revised negotiation of all parties in order to find some middle ground so we would have the ability to recommend in favor of a negotiated revised petition this evening. The original request, the petitioner's First Presbyterian Church, the site location is 200 East Beardsley Avenue. The original request is to vary from section 2610F5BF, temporary signs which permits 2 yard signs per street frontage and 1 additional sign for each 250 feet of frontage for all 4 street frontages in B zoning districts for a period of 30 days per year, and 1 banner which is not permitted in residentially zoned districts to allow for 12 roadside signs and 6 interior wayfinding signs and 1 banner for a total of 70 days per year, a variance of 6 additional yard signs and 40 days per year where these signs are only permitted in B districts. Analysis, and I'll skip the first paragraph. The petitioner is requesting a variance from the temporary sign section of the ordinance to provide notice of activities occurring at the church. The church has several special events that they wish to alert the public by using small temporary signs. Additionally, they are requesting on-site wayfinding signage for the interior of the campus to direct people once they come onto the church property. To also place a banner on the south facade of the building for the same purpose. The board heard the request in August. At that time, staff had offered a compromise of 36 days versus the petitioner's request of 70 days per year related to the number of signs and the duration of time for the requested signs to be placed. During the discussion, the request was split into 2 motions. At that time, the BZA approved the wayfinding signs until December of 2026. The other part of the request was for the additional temporary signs. The board's vote was tied. Therefore, that part of the request was held over until the next regular meeting because there was no majority vote for or against the request. In September, the board heard the request again along with additional public comment. At that meeting, only 3 members were in attendance. Because of the minimum quorum, all votes must be in the affirmative for the request to be approved. The final vote did not produce a majority either in favor or not in favor, so again the matter was continued until the next month. During the month of October, staff, assistant city attorney, and the administration worked diligently to come up with a compromise for temporary signage for places of worship that met the needs of messaging for individual congregations. And was in line with the intent and purpose found in the zoning ordinance for signs within the city of Elkhart. The need for the variance arises from the fact that temporary signs requested are permitted only in B districts and the number of signs exceeds what is permitted for temporary signs. The church is surrounded by public streets on all 4 sides of the building with on-site parking lots with at least 1 aisle of parking on all 4 sides of the building. Staff have been working with the church over the past several months to assist them in finding solutions to their signage needs. In the past, the church placed numerous signs and feather flags in the public right-of-way along Beardsley to alert the passing public of the current church activity. The department had received complaints related to the number, type, and duration of time the signs were placed in the right-of-way for various church activities. The update to the zoning ordinance with an anticipated adoption date later this summer or early fall will address some of the temporary signs the church has utilized in the past. Feather flags, which are not currently on the list of permitted temporary signs but are being added to the list of temporary signs. Small signs and banners are proposed to be permitted in all districts of the updated ordinance. The ordinance update would permit these signs in any district up to a total of 4 signs for up to 30 days. The compromise offered was as followed. Places of worship would be allowed twice the number of temporary signs, specifically yard signs, currently 2 + 1 for the additional 250 feet of street frontage. The proposed would allow for 4 + 2 for every 200 feet of frontage. Currently, the ordinance does not permit feather flags. The proposed language would allow 2 feather flags per zoning lot. Currently, the ordinance does not permit banners in residentially zoned districts. The proposed language would allow one banner. This proposed compromise will be memorialized in the upcoming UDO. Additionally, there will be no time limit for the above-mentioned temporary signs. However, the temporary signs must be maintained in a manner to which they were originally designed. Temporary signs that are allowed to become tattered and or dilapidated will be considered a nuisance and will be treated as a violation of the sign code. In order to address any safety concerns, no signs will be allowed in the right-of-way at any time. The staff recommends approval of the developmental variance for the specific temporary signs. The recommendation comes to the BZA as a compromise between the petitioner and the city. Those signs are as follows: to allow a maximum of 4 yard signs plus 2 for every 250 feet of street frontage, to allow 2 feather flags per zoning lot, and to allow 1 banner. The time allowance for these specific temporary signs will be unlimited based on the following findings of fact. Number 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community because as the requested signs are temporary, they will be placed outside of the public right-of-way. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner as the requested signs are not that uncommon for places of worship. Number 3, granting the variance would be consistent with the intent and purpose of this ordinance because a small measure of relief when uniquely warranted. Number 4, special conditions and circumstances do exist which are peculiar to the land involved and which are not applicable to other lands or structures in the same district because the needs of this type of use are greater than most other uses permitted in residential districts. Number 5, the strict application of the terms of this ordinance may result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because the limitations of time and placement temporary signs puts constraints on the ability to notice the public of activities within the building. Number 6, the special conditions and circumstances do not result from any action or action by the applicant. And number 7, the property does not lie within a designated flood hazard area. Conditions: the specific temporary signs as mentioned in the recommendation above are to be placed on the private property of the church. They are not to be placed within the public right-of-way.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to call the petitioner forward at this time.
Bruce Carter with First Presbyterian Church.
Okay, if you'd like to tell us what you'd like us to do.
We support the staff recommendations. As a matter of fact, we thank the staff for their hard work. This has been a long process. We've been before you 3 times, and we think that the city has done well by us. And in addition, we're very excited that this will be expanded to other churches in our community. The citizens of our community will benefit by having the additional information from the churches all over the city.
Great.
So thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for participating in this long drawn-out process as well. And I think you all came up with a wonderful compromise. At this time, I'd like to open the public meeting. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Okay. Speak in favor of the petition, I'm sorry. Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition to the petition? Please no, please no. Okay, at this time I'll close the public meeting and ask for the staff report. No, we don't have you gave the staff report, yeah. Okay. So, at this time we'll call for the motion.
All right. I move to approve, let me get to the number here, developmental variance 25 BZA 20, and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentation together with the staff's findings of fact as the board's findings of fact in the present petition, and adopt all conditions listed in the staff report.
Second.
Call for the roll call.
Mulvaney,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Evangelikoff.
Yes. Woo-hoo. It just shows the government works. Yes, yes. Yeah, hold on just a minute.
Sally Wicks, pastor, First Presbyterian Church. I just wanted a moment to say thank you. It's been a long process, and I really speak for the whole church. We are so grateful to be able to reach out to the community. So grateful to staff for this compromise. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes. All right. Now, BZA 24.
Okay. The petitioner is Lisa Santos. The site location is 1101 West Garfield. The request is to vary from section 26.4.a.6, which states in part, no fence other than split rail, wrought iron, or open picket fence shall not exceed 4 feet in height, shall be permitted in the front yard or the corner side yard, to allow for a 6-foot privacy fence installed to remain in the corner side yard. A corner side yard height variance of 2 feet and material standards solid privacy variance to remain for the same fence.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to call the petitioner forward.
Hi, my name is Leslie Santos. I am the owner of the 1101 Garfield Avenue.
Could you pull the microphone down?
Sorry. So, my name is Leslie Santos. We are the owner of the 1101, sorry, I'm nervous. 1101 West Garfield Avenue is our private house, primary house. We coming from before from California, and we like to live here. So we have more. We are more comfortable with the people, with the community, with the schools, with the works, and we buy the first house here. It's the first house. We so happy right there, and the purpose we put the fence because we need more privacy, and the space I wanted for my daughters, my little daughter. I have one 12 and one 7. And they love, when it's the summer, they love play on the ground. I put like, what is that, pool, make like, with my niece, mis sobrinos se dice? With my niece and my family, we pleasure time together. That's why we think. The neighbor sometimes is danger, you know the neighbor. But just now only see somebody paint the fence. Do you have the paper, I think, and the photos? And sometimes I'm scared, but if you have the fence, for me it's more comfortable and for my family. So I don't know what you think, but we make a lot works for put the fence. It's expensive, and we still pay the house. So I know I made mistake with the space. I think I need the 12 feet or 14. I forgot.
It's over, the statute says 4 feet.
Yeah.
Yours is 6 feet, and it also says for an opaque.
Yeah, I made mistake. I think I need to start to the street, but it's not. It's on the sidewalk, right? That's why we made mistake. But for me and my family, it's more security, more comfortable, the fence.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not for, ¿cómo se dice? Por pelear con las personas o algo. I don't want to fight with anybody, right? But my My neighbors is good. I have on the right side my neighbor Leticia, and we have friends and around, and everybody's safe. But I want to keep my fence for my children because sometimes she play on the playground, on the brincolín, ¿cómo se dice? No, we had a jumper and we put a lot of thing
trampoline.
trampoline, and we put a lot of team for my daughters play. She's my daughter too, but she's bigger, so she don't play anymore. But sometimes she play with them, and my family is a little bit bigger, so I have space for all my family, and we make like not a party, like
Basically, we have a lot of cookouts. We have a big family. We're all here. And my mom's just basically trying to say that we're no trouble. We keep everything inside the yard. We asked for permission to give it to us, and we didn't know that we went too far. And my mom, she spent a lot of money on putting the fence, and she just didn't know, and we just made a mistake. And like, for us, basically for my sisters, that fence keeps us safe because Elkhart is not always a safe place. And I don't know, I feel like with that fence, me and my sisters are more safe, more able to be free, play in our yard instead of being outside where anything can happen. So that keeps us safe just for me and my little sisters.
Well, congratulations on your first home. That is just wonderful and such an accomplishment. Do they know about the condition? Have you all talked?
This is what we're suggesting as a condition. So essentially, so this part would be moved to the back of the edge of the house, but other than that, that's all that would change. So the rest of the fence would stay. It's just this front part here would just be moved back to the edge of the corner of the back of the house.
Ok, esto es lo que está al lado del cuarto, lo quieren llevar para atrás. Eso es lo único que va a cambiar.
okay.
So, esto ya no va a estar, esto es lo único que van a cambiar, lo van a poner para atrás.
Solo estoy aquí, pero lo de aquí lo van a dejar.
That's gonna stay, right?
Yes.
So you won't have to buy any more materials, I wouldn't think. You're just going to bring that back to the level, or to the level of, yeah, the back corner of the house instead of the front.
Oh, okay.
But you will need to do that,
Okay.
okay? Okay. So that's my only question.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, the rest of the fence can stay up. You're just bringing it back to the back corner of the house. That's all that we're asking, so.
And how long I need to be?
I'm sorry, I can't,
How long?
oh, how long do they have to do that?
¿Cuándo lo tengo que hacer?
Yeah, she's asking when do you want us to do that? Like, how long do we have for us
Yeah,
to?
how long do they have to do that? By the end of the,
Yeah, we should.
How
6 months because of winter.
6 months because of winter.
Like summer? On summer?
Yeah, so 6 months, that'd be like April.
April?
Yeah.
When the snow is finished? Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, well, we still, thank you very much. And you signed in?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if you want to have a seat, then we'll finish up with this and vote on it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You need to sign? I need to sign? No? I signed already. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, at this time, we will open up the public meeting. Anyone to speak in favor of the petition? Anyone to speak against the petition? Okay, Okay, we'll close the public meeting and go to the staff report.
Staff analysis. The petitioner is requesting a developmental variance to allow for a 6-foot privacy fence in the corner yard, when a 4-foot is the maximum height, and to allow a solid material when non-opaque is allowed. The petitioner submitted a fence permit on June 20th, 2023, and was approved by staff the same day. The approved permit application depicts the fence even with the house along 11th Street. When the fence was installed, the placement went past the wall of the house which went past the wall of the house, which does not comply with the current fence placement standards. Zoning staff cited the property for a zoning violation for the 6-foot solid wood fence installed in the corner side yard, prohibited by zoning ordinance on August 11th, 2025. The petitioner then submitted to the board for a developmental variance on September 26th, 2025.
You just cut out, I think. Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to get too close. The original design met the development requirements from the zoning ordinance for corner side yard lots. The petitioner is seeking this variance to allow for the now existing fence to remain in its current location. This variance is required because the property owner, after being granted a fence permit, chose not to place the fence in the allowable location. After discovering the violation, staff chose not to fine the property owner for the incorrect placement of the fence. The city of Elkhart is in the process of updating its zoning ordinance, including fence regulations. The location of the fence is not consistent with the proposed regulations found in the anticipated UDO. The UDO would require the fence coming towards the street at the rear corner of the house, not the front corner of the house, as the fence in this petition is requesting. Staff and the board need to be consistent when making recommendations and granting developmental variances. There is nothing about the land or lot that prohibits the petitioner from locating the fence in an appropriate location that meets the proposed development standards for coming in the UDO. Staff are making an effort to make sure that the recommendation that they make for cases similar to this one is consistent with other corner side yard fence requests. Staff is willing to support the request if the fence is modified to have the projecting portion of the fence coming from the rear corner of the house and not the front corner of the house. Recommendation. Staff recommends approval of the developmental variance based on the following findings of facts. Number 1, the approval should not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community because the fence should have been built and installed in a workman-like fashion. Because the fence was built in a workman-like fashion. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjoining to the property will not be affected in a substantial adverse manner because a fence is a typical element found in residential districts. The fence's location should not affect the use or value of adjoining properties. Number 3, granting the variance would be consistent with the intent and the purpose of this ordinance because a measure of relief is allowed when warranted because it is anticipated that this location will soon be permitted in the new UDO in terms of being along the sidewalk on the rear corner. Number 4, special conditions and circumstances do exist as the subject property is a corner lot. Number 5, the strict application of the terms of this ordinance will not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because the fence could be placed so as to meet the requirements for fencing on corner lots in the city. Number 6, the special conditions and circumstances do result from action or action by the applicant because the approved location of the fence was not followed and placed in a unapproved location. Number 7, this property does not lie within a designated flood zone area. Conditions. Number 1, the projected portion of the fence should be removed to the rear corner of the house. This will mirror the language in the forthcoming UDO for fences in residential districts on corner lots or parcels. The fence is currently placed at the front corner of the house. And number 2 to be added is that they will be given 6 months to complete the work.
Letters?
Yes, thank you. 33 letters were sent out with 0 responses.
Okay. Very good. Any questions? Nope. Any questions, Diane? Okay. All right, then at this time, we will call for a motion.
I move to approve developmental variance 25 BZA 24 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentation together with the staff's findings of fact as the board's findings of fact in the present petition and adopt all conditions listed in the staff report.
Second.
Just one question. So the ones that were actually listed was just one condition. Now we have 2. Do we have to say something?
I said conditions plural, which I think covers 1 and 2.
Okay. All right, I'll go with that. Very good. We have a motion and a second. Could we have the roll call, please?
Mulvaney,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Evangelikov.
Yes. Great. So you can, if you'll keep, you can keep your fence in your beautiful home. I drove by there today, and it's very pretty. If you can just make sure that you move that fence back by April,
April or May,
by May 1st?
I think May.
Yeah, end of May. What are you saying?
I think it's May, it would actually be May 12th.
Okay, May 12th, middle of May. Middle of May, just get that fence back, and that'll be fantastic. You bet, you bet. Thank you for bringing this petition. We appreciate it. Okay. Next article of business is 25 UV 13.
It would be 11.
11.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, the petitioner is David A. Newfer LLC. The site location is 2101 South Main Street. The request is to vary from section 13.2 permitted uses in the B3 Service Business District to allow for the establishment of a new daycare center at 2101 South Main Street.
Okay, if we could call up the petitioner? And you have signed in?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I'm John Percini with Coldwell Banker Commercial Office, representing David Newfer, and Joseph Newfer is here, and the operator of the daycare ministry is here also. The Newfer says, if you know, on South Main has constructed the new Burton's Laundry. It's got a $2 million development. And they always kind of add on this space now, a couple thousand square feet, for something that may complement the neighborhood and the business. And so we marketed it, and Kenesha actually has quite a few of these and has an interest in going in there. And then we realized that we didn't quite fit that zoning after we got through some construction phase, so stopped. So here we are. The staff had a little bit of concern about the outside area. We've met with Erica for the kids. We went with Eric prior to the meeting, and we spoke earlier today, and we've kind of resolved that to move it to the back side of the building, and I think he'll kind of explain that. So
Good, because that little triangle, I think you could put 3 kids in there, and
Right.
it'd be a timeout.
yeah, that's what he had said, and I had just kind of noticed it earlier today. So everybody's good with that. So they just want to, we think it's a good compliment to the neighborhood, and the business complements itself, and so it would be a nice addition there. If you have any questions for me or them, we'd be glad to answer them.
So are there any questions? So you're going to tell us about what this new place outside for them to play is? Okay, good, because that was really my concern. That little space up front just was not adequate at all. So, okay, that was my question.
Thank you. Thank you.
You bet. Okay, at this point, we'll open up the public meeting. Anyone to speak in favor? Anyone to speak in opposition? Okay, we'll close the public meeting and ask for the staff report.
The petitioner is requesting, a use variance to allow for the property at 2101 South Main Street to be used as a daycare center. Section 13.2 permitted uses in the B3 Service Business District does not permit daycare centers. The need for the use variance comes from the fact that in the B3 zoning district does not permit daycare centers as a permitted use. The property is currently Burton's Laundry with a vacant retail space on the north end of the building. On the rear and west side of the building, there is available parking. The building has already undergone some indoor remodeling for the build-out of the area for classrooms as well as office space for staff. The building was built in 2025 and is approximately 6,766 square feet over one level. There's approximately 2,487 square feet of available space for the daycare center and 4,279 square feet used for laundry services. The petitioner is seeking local permission to operate a daycare center again at 2101 South Main Street. The City of Elkhart requires, in addition to state approvals, local approval in order to operate a daycare center. The petitioner's tenant will be working to gain state approval as an unlicensed registered daycare ministry. The daycare center will necessitate a license from the Indiana Family and Social Service Administration. Based on information provided to staff via email, the hours of the center will be from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The approximate number of children cared for at the site will be between 20 and 22 children with 5 to 6 employees. The operator has over 20 years' experience in child care and operates 21 centers in South Bend. The petitioner is proposing to install outdoor play space using the planting peninsula in the parking lot. Staff conducted a site visit at the 2101 South Main Street on October 28, specifically to observe the proposed area allocated for outdoor play. The peninsula area is small, approximately 200 square feet in area. There is no alternate area, nor common community park, nor a community park within walking distance for the children to recreate outside. Staff have reservations related to the size of the outdoor play area. Staff also understands the need for quality childcare and realizes the potential benefit of having a location like this at the intersection of two thoroughfares, which makes the pickup and drop off easy for working parents. However, this complex wasn't constructed for this type of end use and was designed for a more typical retail commercial user. The concern staff is having with this request is at the location of South Main and East Lusher that has no outdoor play area and no park or alternative areas for children to recreate outside. Subsequent to us writing the staff report, we met with the petitioner's agent and the petitioner's son, and we had agreed that they would relocate the play area from the parking peninsula to the south end of the building, which has a larger area, rectangular in shape, and a grassed area that would provide a better area to accommodate the children outside.
Do we know how many square feet that is?
No, I do not, but in observing the area, it is probably 2 to 3 times the size of that area.
Okay. As a professional, do you feel comfortable with the size of the area? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be asking her, but at this point, but do you feel comfortable with the size of this? Is really,
I do. I feel comfortable.
you do?
I do.
Well, 22,
Oh, I'm sorry. Kanisha Taylor.
so you've got 22 kids. They won't all be out there at the same time, right?
No.
Okay, so that's how you'll break it up, and some can go out, and that's how you'll make it work.
Yes, ma'am.
And you feel, and the city feels comfortable with that? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Therefore, staff recommends approval of the use variance based on the following findings of fact. Number 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community because the building will be updated per all applicable building codes. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because there will only be minor exterior changes to the existing building. Number 3, granting the variance would be consistent with the intent and purpose of this ordinance because a small measure of relief when uniquely warranted. Number 4, special conditions and circumstances do exist which are peculiar to the land involved and which are not applicable to other lands or structures in the same district. Because without board action, a daycare center on this parcel would not be permitted. Number 5, the strict application of the terms of this ordinance will not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because establishing permitted B use could be achieved on the site and providing more required off-street parking would be possible. Number 6, special conditions and circumstances do not result from any action or inaction by the applicant as the zoning for the property has existed for some time. And number 7, the property does not lie within a designated flood hazard area. Conditions. If the board chooses to approve the requested use variance, staff recommends the following conditions be placed upon the approval. Number 1, all children will be restricted to the building or fenced in play area. Parking islands shall be fenced when would be now updated to the south end of the building, except when arriving or leaving on supervised walks or outings. Number 2, the facility and grounds shall be kept clean at all times. Number 3, the facility shall be subject to inspection upon reasonable notice by the zoning administrator during hours of operation. Number 4, a copy of the Child Care Center license shall be submitted to the Department of Planning and Zoning upon receipt from the Indiana Family and Social Services Administration. If the daycare ceases to operate for more than 1 year or the license is revoked, the use variance becomes null and void. Number 6, any violation of the terms of this use variance as determined by the zoning administrator shall render the use variance invalid. Number 7, the maximum number of children shall be determined by the state's child-staff ratio. And number 8, a renewal for the use variance will need to be submitted is for 2 years and shall be reviewed as a staff item by the Board of Zoning Appeals by November 9, 2027. So there were 20 letters mailed, none returned.
Okay. And are you all familiar with the conditions as laid out by staff? These are all our standard conditions for all daycares except for number 1. And so we've rewritten number 1 in the paren area to say, area south of the building shall be fenced.
So that had been the parking lot, now right behind the
Okay, and then all the other conditions are probably just like South Bend's conditions.
Yeah, I meant to say that we did agree to it, so.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, as long as you guys understand that.
We're good. Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Any questions for staff? Okay. All right, then, I'm calling for a motion at this time.
I move to approve use variance 25 UV11 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentation together with the staff's findings of fact as the board's findings of fact in the present petition, and adopt all conditions listed in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, call for the roll call?
Mulvaney,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Evangelikoff.
Yes. All right, very good. Well, we need these so badly in town. We really appreciate you, and you've been so successful in South Bend. We hope this goes wonderfully for you, and you'll build a lot more in Elkhart. That would be wonderful. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to do UV 13. No, are you serious? No, 12's the one that's been booted. Mhm. So now we're for 13.
Sandra Schreiber. Okay, are we ready? Okay. The petitioner is Sandra Schreiberg, President of Elkhart City Redevelopment Commission. The site location is the 100 block of Freight Street. The request is to vary from section 15.2.q, permitted uses in the CBD Central Business District, to allow for residential dwelling units on the first floor of the mixed-use commercial building.
Okay. Could the petitioner please step forward?
Yes, good evening. Mike Huber, Director of Development Services for the City of Elkhart, here representing Sandy and the Redevelopment Commission. Our department is staffed to the Redevelopment Commission. Just try to keep this a little bit brief. My comments will actually pertain to both this use variance request and the following variance request on UV14. In 2023 and 2024, the city assembled multiple parcels along Freight Street and South Main Street, demolished some buildings on South Main Street and on Freight Street as well, in the hopes of redeveloping those properties. We put them out for an RFP. The developer, Garrison Fraser, submitted an RFP for both projects. Their intent is to invest $50 million to create new mixed-use development projects in both of those locations, two separate projects totaling about 210 to 215 new housing units. This is the first significant investment in this corridor in this part of the city in some time. This followed right on the heels of the Benham neighborhood planning process that was led by the chamber and the city, and so it incorporated many of the objectives and much of the design guidelines that were identified in the plan. One of the issues is, and it will be addressed in the upcoming new UDO. Currently, this proposed development calls for residential development on the first floor. We don't have the capacity to have that much new commercial development on that entire stretch of Main Street, both those projects. The current zoning ordinance does not permit residential on the first floor, so that's the purpose of the use variances. And the developer does have a representative here as well to say a few words, and then we'll answer any questions you might have.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Board of Zoning Appeals. My name is Jonah Butler. I am here on behalf of Garrison Fraser and Millhouse. We are the co-developers who received the RFP award to fulfill the city's vision for the South Main Street and Freight Street parcels. Mike covered most of what I wanted to talk about, so thank you. That was awesome. But I do just want to say we're very excited about this project. If there's any questions, please let me know. When we're looking at how best to achieve the city's vision for revitalization of the South Main Street corridor, as well as the redevelopment of their city-owned parcels, we realized having ground floor residential units made the most sense in various places, as well as offering mixed use as well as a public plaza as part of this development. So we're excited about this, and again, thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, any questions for the petition? This is for the petitioners right now. Any questions for the petitioners on either one of these?
On the first one, I'm looking at the diagram here. Obviously, it appears Freight Street will be a walking arcade, no parking, no driving. Is that correct?
We haven't gotten to the complete design of that. I think there's likely going to be some ability to have some vehicular traffic in there. The intent is to make it feel as very pedestrian friendly as we can, but there will be some parking and some access to the residential development from Freight Street as well.
Obviously, you're surrounding Bowleys. They're going to be surrounded on three sides. Where will their parking in?
We're incorporating parking for all of the potential
Okay.
retail.
So it would be all businesses.
That's
and
correct.
everything.
And so there will be enough parking for the apartments and for the businesses?
That's correct.
Okay. And the first floor apartments, that kind of threw me a little bit for a loop, especially since these are so close to the sidewalk. Are they going to be safe?
Yeah, if you can think about the new development that's just now leasing the Ivy Road development in the River District, those are residential right on the first floor, right on the sidewalk on Jackson Boulevard. So it would, in some ways, model that.
Okay, so there'll be some kind of buffer, a bit of a buffer?
Yeah, it will be not. They will be safe. Absolutely.
Yep, okay, all right. Very good. Any other questions? Okay, now we would like to open the public meeting. Anyone to speak in favor of the petition?
Hello, everyone. My name is Nikisha Elena Alexis, and I have been following this project very, very closely. I am also a resident in the Benham East neighborhood, and so this is a welcome addition to that part of town. I feel very excited that the city is committed not only to housing, but to housing being shared all across the city. We need more housing in that area, more apartments. I'm a New Yorker, so I can assure you that it is safe. We're used to first floor apartments and ways of making sure that there is some comfort between the residents and the people who are passing by. I think the only thing that I would say is I'm a very strong advocate of affordable housing. And so to my understanding and why I support this is that Garrison, they understand the need for affordability and will be factoring that into the planning. So yeah, I also want to say,
You're cutting out just a little bit.
thank you. Oh, that's so much better.
I know it is.
And I also really appreciate very deeply that they will be honoring Kelby Love's mural as a part of this. With the
I
Love
love
Block.
that.
I am, it was a big loss, but also I think a big gain, and it's my understanding Glenda Love is very much in favor of this honoring and for her son as well. So just thank you. Hold them to that affordability part, and I appreciate it.
And I guess you brought up a question that I wanted to ask Mike. It was about that. These apartments are going to be for that kind of middle area that we need so badly, yes?
Yeah, it's my understanding, and again, the development was presented as a market rate development, but I think much like we saw out at County Road 17 with the Holiday project out there, the flats at Pine Creek, this is likely targeting more of a workforce of attainable housing rent rate.
Okay, all right. Well, like Leash said, we're going to hold you to that. Absolutely. All right. Anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone to speak in opposition? Okay. Now call up the staff for their report. And we're going to do both, okay? We've tied these together, so we're going to do both. Yeah,
You'll do the, okay.
yeah.
Staff analysis. The petitioner is requesting a use variance to allow the property at Freight Street and South Main to build residential dwellings on the first floor of a multifamily residential dwelling unit to vary from section 15.2.q permitted uses in the CBD Central Business District to allow for residential dwelling units on the first floor of a mixed-use commercial building. In 2024, the Elkhart Restoration, Regeneration, and Reconnection of the Benham Neighborhood Master Plan was finalized after a 12-month process to identify successful places within the city's fabric, noted opportunities to continue current growth and activities, provided specific strategies to celebrate and expand upon the best parts of Benham. The master plan looked to activate the public realm at street level, making it easier and safer to walk in the neighborhood while defining public gathering spaces. The figure to the left is a snapshot of the east end of Benham Master Plan area that incorporates the use variance case before the Board of Zoning Appeals this evening. Specifically, it depicts the massing of existing and proposed infill structures within the neighborhood with the goal of reactivating the streets and public areas. The development service team has been working with Garrison Fraser as the Benham Neighborhood Master Plan was being developed in 2023 and 2024. In July 2024, Garrison Fraser responded to a request for proposal RFP to put out by the Elkhart Redevelopment Commission with the goal and purpose to transform the southern gateway to downtown Elkhart. That area included the Freight Street neighborhood. The RFP submission was to support and follow the elements found in the Benham Plan. The project referred to as Freight Street District will include 2 buildings with 144 dwelling units and over 9,000 square feet of retail and amenity space. The first building facing South Main will be 4 stories and 3,300 square feet of leasable retail space. The second building facing Freight Street will also be 4 stories with 104 residential units with 2,000 feet of amenity space. The Freight Street District will highlight existing neighborhood assets like the brick streets, the National New York Central Railroad Museum, and the neighborhood bowling, crystal Bar. Historically, the buildings that were constructed along South Main were sited close to or at the front property line. This redevelopment project is in keeping with the historic development pattern along South Main. The request comes to us as the petitioner is looking to build the multi-family building with residential on the first floor, as well as with the second building that faces South Main. The City of Elkhart is in the process of updating its zoning ordinance, including new uses allowed in Central Business District. This requested use is consistent with the proposed regulations found in the anticipated UDO. Eric, do you want to? Okay.
As it relates to the other request, 25 UV14, I would just add the differentiation that this project, referred to as the South Main mixed-use development, will have one mixed-use building with 81 dwelling units and over 15,150 square feet of retail amenity space. The building facing South Main Street will be 4 stories and have 3,300 square feet of leasable retail space.
Okay, thank you.
Staff recommends approval of the use variance based on the following finding of facts. Number 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community because the buildings will be built per all applicable building codes. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjoining to the property will not be affected in a substantial adverse manner because the proposed development activities activate vacant land and is in keeping with the Benham neighborhood plan. Number 3, granting the variance would be consistent with the intent and the purpose of this ordinance because a small measure of relief when uniquely warranted. Number 4, special conditions and circumstances do exist which pertain to the land involved, which are not applicable to other land or structures in the same district because without board action, the building proposed with residential on the first floor would not be permitted. Number 5, the strict application of the terms of this ordinance will not result in practical difficulty in the use of the property because developing a permitted CBD use would not provide the activation of the street and not in keeping with the Benham plan. Okay. Number 6, the special conditions and circumstances do not result from any action or inaction by the applicant as the project is being developed in keeping with the Benham neighborhood plan. Number 7, this property does not lie within a designated flood hazard area. There was 36 letters sent out and none returned.
For 25 UV14, there were 74 letters mailed, 1 returned back not in favor.
Okay, and Eric, on yours, so number 5, there was a discrepancy to,
I apologize.
one said will and one said will not.
I will correct that on the record. I apologize. For UV14 will not result. I apologize. That was a typo.
Okay. All right. Very good. Any questions for staff?
I have a couple of questions, and I don't know if that goes, I mean, where it goes to you, Rick. I'm curious about what the timing is of this. Yes. Okay, that's why I was, which of you all, and I suppose the next one will be for Mike as well, but do you have a timing?
We do, in talking with the developer just this week. So the city has a number of approvals we have to initiate and complete in order to provide the incentives that we're providing to the developer. One of those was the receipt of state incentive dollars through the Lilly Endowment Initiative, the Blight Initiative. The developer is negotiating with the IEDC. We expect that contract to be signed in December. We have a meeting actually tomorrow to create and finalize our approvals calendar. The developer hopes to break ground in September of 2026.
September 2026?
Correct.
Okay, and the second is kind of a two-part question. I think this is probably for you, Mike, as well. Is there a name, an official name for the neighborhood number 1?
Freight.
This is kind of the new neighborhood, right?
It's in here, the Freight Street.
And the second part of that question then is related to, as we've seen where the River District has some element both on the face, I believe, of the building structure itself on, and also there's some kind of a gateway sign, kind of announcing that you're going into a neighborhood. And I'm wondering if that has been discussed, considered, and if we might have some idea about
I think in broadly speaking, in naming the neighborhood, because of this kind of falls within the Benham neighborhood. I don't know that we've created a whole name for that area. I do know the developer's intent is specifically along the Freight Street development to rename that area the Freight Street District, much like a river district or something else around the Freight Street. So specifically related to that, I'm not sure if the South Main Street at the gateway of Prairie and Main Street would technically fall within the Freight Street District or be branded Freight Street District or not. As was mentioned, there is a significant public plaza green space being proposed as part of the South Main Street development at the corner of Prairie and Main that will be named Love Plaza in honor of Kelby Love, who have a 3D replication of the original mural. And so, I know there's a lot of great care being taken in terms of providing elements of public art and making the entry and the gateway into the community, special. The buildings will be branded South Main Street, 1000 block of South Main Street, and clearly the Freight Street District. But I don't know that we've named per se the.
Have you talked to anybody about branding? I mean, really, I don't know if that's the developer. I know Dave Weaver did a lot with advertising agency on branding, and I don't know if that's something you all are doing, or?
I don't believe it's happening yet. I think it may be around the Freight Street District. Again, we haven't had those conversations with the developer. He might know that more than I would, but I'm not sure how that applies to the South Main Street buildings yet.
Yes, I just wanted to express that I think that the neighborhoods that are, bordering the Central Business District, they deserve to be
We agree
named.
with that.
They deserve to be special.
Yep, we agree.
We'd love to see that happen.
Thanks.
I just can follow up regarding some of the marketing things. So we're a little early in the process to flesh out not only the marketing schemes, but also the exact names of the community. Millhouse and Garrison Fraser have pretty strict naming conventions we use for our developments. And so I'm sure you'll hear something in either the paper or around town regarding what they would come up with.
Oh,
and I'd
but
be
we
happy
want to
to
hear it first.
Well, thanks for considering. I just wanted to
Yeah.
bring it up because I think it's really an important thing for our city, and it's also important for neighborhoods, the people that live in the neighborhoods. They want to be proud of the places that they live in and be recognized when those neighborhoods are
Yep.
mentioned. And I'm just so excited about this project. I think it's a wonderful addition. We've been waiting for so long to see something like this happen. So thanks for doing it. And we're just asking, to consider taking a little bit of extra step to think of working with the community to be able to come up with a name.
Sure, I totally understand that.
Gateway enhancement there, so it looks like you're going into a special place.
I understand that, yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so we've got actually two. So we're going to first need a motion for UV 13, and then we'll vote on that, and then a motion for UV 14.
I move to approve use variance 25 UV 13 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentation together with the staff's findings of fact as the board's findings of fact in the present petition.
Second?
Roll call?
Mulvaney,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Evangelikov.
Yes. Okay, very good. Now let's go to the second one.
I move to approve use variance 25 UV 14 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentation together with the staff's findings of fact as the board's findings of fact in the present petition.
Second?
Roll call?
Mulvaney,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Evangelikov.
Yes, all right. One step down, many more to go, but this is fantastic. We are so excited about this project, everyone is. So, thank you so much. Okay, I believe all we have left is adjournment. Any staff items? I had to ask.
It'll be very brief. We will be scheduling your training in the next week or so. So watch your email, and we're going to look for some times when it's workable for everybody to attend our training
After Thanksgiving.
after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine.
Perfect.
All right, and do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
We be
we're
out of here.
adjourned.